In our last game against Bournemouth away, we managed to come out with a narrow 1-0 victory thanks to Sancho and Nkunku changing the game for us in the second half. And it was Sancho that contributed with an assist to Nkunku, who made that late goal with only a few minutes to go. Sanchez was also a hero in that game, came to clutch for us by saving a penalty and many shots inside the box, and Bournemouth could not capitalize on their chances, and we managed to punish them for that. We're gonna move forward now. We need to improve in certain things of the game, and Enzo Maresca is also going to have to make a few changes in the lineup as well, which I'm gonna go through in this video. And now we're traveling away in London to play a London derby against West Ham, and it's never easy playing against them. West Ham has a new manager in Lopetegui. They're trying to learn his style of play, and therefore West Ham isn't in their best form in the current moment. They actually concede a lot of chances and shots against them, so this is a game that we should have the quality to win and get another 3 points. In terms of team news, Reece James is unfortunate still out. Maresca could not clarify when he's making his return, which is very concerning, but he's still out. Malagusto Lavia is out as well. Although we have 2 players back in training, and that is Enzo Fernandez and Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, which is of course positive. Maresca was also asked about how his front four would look like, and he mentioned we have 2 left wingers in Jadon Sancho, Mudryk. In the number 10 role we have Cole Palmer and João Felix. On the right hand side we got Madueke and Pedro Neto, and up front we got three strikers, not 3. We got 3 strikers in Nicholas Jackson, Nkunku and Mark. And I mentioned of course that Nkunku is versatile and can play pretty much everywhere in the front 4, but honestly I see his best position as a second striker or in the number 10 role, but he can fill the striker role to a certain extent on the Enzo Maresca, because the striker on the Enzo Maresca acts as a false 9 deep lying forward. Was also asked about Jackson and Nkunku, and they have a competition with each other, of course, who is going to gain the starting spot in the lineup, and he's happy with both of their performances, especially in Jackson. He thinks he's doing everything right in the game. Sometimes he misses chances, and I agree on that. Nicholas Jackson is very solid. He is improving. His link-up play, close ball control, getting out of the press is fantastic. I think he is a great player to have in the team. Finishing needs to improve, and here's where Nkunku comes in. He excels in around the box and outside the box. And Nkunku is a very good finisher, and he has shown that in the times when he has been utilized and played. But he has been injured for most part of last season, that we never really got to see Nkunku play. But hopefully he stays fit now, and I'm going to go in then to my predicted lineup, and we can have a discussion on who will start, because I have made actually a few changes that I think is going to elevate the starting 11. With the 4-2-3-1, that's going to change into a 3-2-5 when we are in possession. Sanchez will continue in goal. He was the man of the match against Bournemouth, and if someone is in form and is performing, you want to continue that momentum. He did some excellent saves against Bournemouth. In the back line, I'm going to make one change here. I'm going to take out Disasi because he did not have a good game against Bournemouth. Even though I said in my predicted lineup I wanted him to be that wide right center back, I realized and hold my hands up, he cannot fill that position. He's very slow, he's not agile enough, and I think he is our slowest player out there in the pitch. And if he's gonna come up against Kudus, he's gonna be done over and over again. Kudus will roll past him. And therefore I'm actually moving Wesley Fofana out there as a wide right center back. He's going to defend as a right back, but in possession he becomes a right wide center back. And the center back that comes into the middle here will be Tosin. And then Colwill will also be the wide center back in possession. I'm actually going to have more Cucurella inverting into the midfield and making the double pivot together with Moises Caicedo, because we saw Pochettino inverting Cucurella towards the last games of our previous season, and we look so much more balanced, stable, both in terms in possession but also out of possession, because Cucurella has the pace, the acceleration, the anticipation. He's aggressive, he's good in terms of winning interception, tackles, and all this kind of stuff. So, and he's also good in possession, actually, as a close first touch and making great passes. So him and Caicedo, I think, is going to add that much needed balance in the middle. But also have Enzo Fernandez. If he has protection behind him in Marc Cucurella and Caicedo, we're going to help him. We're going to free him up more in the attack, and he can make those final defense splitting passes behind the back line, and he can also join the attack and attack the box. I would prefer Enzo Fernandez having a deeper role, or being just a central midfielder that is more so holding his position and not bombing up and down like a box to box. Enzo Maresca wants an 8 that can contribute in the attack and defense. He could fill that role better if he has enough protection in Cucurella and Caicedo behind him. I would give Enzo Fernandez a few more chances in the role and see. But I don't think he can fill it. I hope he can. That's why I want to give him a few more chances. Maybe he needs to learn the new role he's playing in and understand Enzo Maresca's tactics more. Maybe he needs more minutes to get match sharpness, match fitness, to get a feel for the system. But he's only gonna get a few more chances, because we can't be saying this forever. But if he has enough protection behind him, hopefully we will cover his defensive flaws. Number 10 role that's also going to operate in the half spaces together with Enzo Fernandez is none other than Cole Palmer. There are no questions about it. The only problem here is that I feel like Cole Palmer is not that... He can do a better job defensively. But in the number 10 role, he is so creative, and he is a nightmare for the opposition to mark. But Bournemouth did a great move and a tactical decision when they came up against Palmer, that they had one player constantly man-marking him throughout the whole game. Maybe West Ham will do the same here. As my wide wingers, I'm going to have Noni Madueke on the right hand side and Jadon Sancho on the left hand side. They need to continue their form out. Jadon Sancho was one of the players that changed the game for us against Bournemouth. He was exceptional. Hopefully continue that now. Madueke has had a good start to the season, and I don't want to interrupt his form either. The things Madueke need to improve upon is to try be less selfish and actually look up a bit more. I have said it countless of times, but that's the thing he needs to improve upon. His vision and pass the ball to teammates in the right moment. But otherwise than that, his mentality is getting better, his defensive work is getting better, he's getting more lethal in the final third, has an excellent shot, he's very good at taking on players in 1 versus 1. So I'm happy with Madueke so far. And now up front, I think Jackson will start, but I would start Nkunku because he's just a more lethal finisher when he's getting the opportunities. It's not gonna be a player that stick around if he's not gonna get those regular minutes, because for me, he's a world-class player that you have to have in your team. He can be the difference maker, and he's only needs a few opportunities to bury his chances. And it's so difficult for the opponent to stop Christopher Nkunku. I mean, just look at the seasons he had at Leipzig, winning a Bundesliga Best Player of the Year back to back. So Nkunku starts for me, and Jackson is sitting on the bench. But if Nkunku doesn't perform, of course, we subbing in Nicolas Jackson. So that's my starting lineup. I'm gonna give you my thoughts around giving academy guys a chance, especially Achampong. I would be absolutely happy if he got an opportunity tomorrow. Even Tyreek George, the guy scored a hat-trick in the under-21 game that was. Achampong had a brilliant performance there too. But I think in the current moment, I want Sancho to start there, and I would try for Fofana there. But if they do not perform, I don't know if Tyreek George will be in the squad. But if we're getting rid of Mudryk later, we could have Tyreek George as the second option. If doesn't perform, of course, I would love to see Achampong being subbed and giving an opportunity. I do not want to see the manager talking about how academy players are so talented, but then they're gonna be cautious with them and never give them an opportunity when finally the opportunity arises, which we have a brilliant opportunity tomorrow to give Josh Achampong a chance to either start or get minutes off the bench. In both Pochettino, now Maresca, they talked about how they like giving young players opportunities, but I mean, Maresca hasn't really done it so far, and Pochettino didn't do that whatsoever, even though we had opportunities to do so. Know that Cobham is got plenty of talents in their academy that is often ready to be given minutes, because we have seen that through these recent years. So that's my thoughts around the academy guys. In terms of our opponents, West Ham, they have had a tricky start to the season. They haven't been awful, they have been okay, but they are also a team that has a new manager in Lopetegui, and they trying to learn his way of playing. They had David Moyes, as we know, last season, and he only likes to sit in a low block and hit opponents on counter-attacks, and against big oppositions he's playing this sort of route one style. Lopetegui is a manager that can both counter-attack, but he also likes his team to have possession, and he also likes to play direct football. And one thing we need to watch out for is the third man runs he's using with his midfielders. His midfielder likes to make runs on the blind side, and that can be very difficult to defend against. So that's something we need to watch out for. West Ham has been missing a proper number 9 for a while now. Antonio is getting older, he's not in his prime anymore, but they have purchased Nicolas Füllkrug from Dortmund, and he's pretty good in terms of scoring goals, so he's someone we need to watch out for. We also need to watch out for Bowen, Paquetá, Kudus, really good players. I mean, West Ham has really strengthened in summer. They have even purchased Leeds, wonder-kid winger in Somerville, so they got good options from the bench. They also purchased Todibo from Nice, who was one of the standout defenders in Ligue 1 last season. West Ham is not a joke, and we usually struggle against them, but I think we have the upper hand here, because West Ham is really susceptible in the defense in the current moment. They are open, they conceding a lot of chances and shots against them, so we need to take the opportunities tomorrow when we're getting them, because we're gonna get a lot of them. Yeah, I firmly believe that. So I think the game will be pretty open. I think we're gonna see a lot of goals. So I predicting we're gonna come out with a 3-2 victory. I think we're gonna see plenty of goals tomorrow. So it could be a very exciting game. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below around my predicted lineup in terms of the changes I made. Let me know what you would change. And I thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'm out. Peace.